Red Bull will give you wings. I'm waiting for my wings to grow. Good morning, Carol, or good afternoon, good evening. Carol and Liz Jane, good evening. Happy Friday. I'm waiting for my wings to grow. Red Bull. Sue Broodbaker. Hello, new listener. Well, welcome, Sue. Tammy, good evening. Okie dokie. Hey, y'all, hit that like button on the way in. Thank you. You pronounce it Liza or Lisa? Don't sis boom ba. Sam, I am. Good evening. Welcome to True Crime Trivia tonight. Sis boom ba. Rebecca, good evening. I hope we all had a pleasant week. Liza, like Liza Minnelli. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure. Don't want to mispronounce your name. I'm sorry about that. Now I know. Rebecca Lunsford, good evening. Lunsford. Probably help if I put my glasses on so I can actually see the screen so it's not fuzzy. I'll be damned. It makes a hell of a difference. Who knew? Who knew? TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Yeah. Got a weekend, busy weekend coming up here. What's shaking, Will? Not much, sweetheart. Not much at all. I've got True Crime Trivia tonight. Tomorrow morning, we have the news and chat. And then Sunday, we have music trivia. So 3 streams this week. Besides that, not much. Not much going on. IJ, hello from Rhode Island. Well, welcome, IJ. What time is new tomorrow? Oh, news. That's at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, PDT. So if you're in Wisconsin, that's 3 hours difference from when I do it. I do it at 8 a.m. my time here. So Lisa Lucas, hi from Canton, near the Hall of Fame. Really? Oh, that's cool. I've been there once. I was there one time to the Baseball Hall of Fame. A really nice experience, but it was way more than I could take in just one day. I was probably there for about 6 hours, and I could have gone back day after day for at least 2 or 3 days, and still not gotten to see and really appreciate everything that was there. North Carolina here, close to Cherry Point. Tina Hansen from Maine. Good evening, Tina. I hope you had a wonderful week. Thank you for joining us tonight. Samantha Muster McDowell. Good evening, Samantha. Amy from New Jersey. Oh, welcome. Sue Brubaker, South Florida, near West Palm Beach. There you go. Is the weather good there right now? I bet it's a lot warmer than it is here. Today we got up to 50. It's a heat wave for where I am. Hope all is good. But we got up to 50 degrees today with a little bit of wind, but not too bad. Cold and windy here in Michigan. Starfire, good evening. Hot and humid. Yeah. Well, it could be worse, right? Could be hurricane season. So I guess we have to take the best if we can what we can get. Made it to 54 in Maine today. Wow. Hi Haley. Good evening. Welcome to True Crime Trivia tonight. Dang, we were at 73 today. There. We had a snow squall warning. Winds and crazy high right now. Whiteout. Oh, that sounds just like home. I have to go over and watch some Charlie Brennan, and Doodad. These are YouTube channels, by the way. Doodad, Charlie Brennan, and what's the other guy? Oh man, drawing a blank. I can picture his face, but I'm drawing a blank on his name. I hate hurricanes. Been through 3. Let's not talk about hurricanes, please. We won't. Here's Gayla. Good evening, Gayla. Hello from Sacramento. So windy, our shed blew down across half an acre. Wow. This must be my last February in Midwest, going to be kind of a snowbird. There you go. Where are you going to snowbird at? Arizona? That seems to be a pretty popular place for a lot of my family from Wisconsin. They either go to either Arizona or Texas. Yesterday, everything's frozen. The town came to a full stop. I had 8 grandkids because of no school. Yeah, we haven't had any school here for the last 3 days. Give you a short little version of it. Our school board, without the superintendent or without the approval of the state or the teachers union, decided to make masks optional for all kids in school, which violated the mandate that the school system is under. So they had to cancel school and make an emergency proclamation to cancel school while they figured it out. Then the state superintendent for schools said, if you don't do it, we're going to withhold funding. If you don't put it back the way it was before, all this. So they got voted onto the school board, these 3 people, and it was they purposely passed the vote when they knew that there wouldn't be enough opposition there. Arizona has lots of beaches, just no ocean. That's true. A lot of beaches there. We are mask free thanks to Bonker Boris. I like that. I never heard that one before, Samantha. Bonkers Boris for Boris Yeltsin. Sam, I am. Sad, humid. We're having just the opposite masks issues in Florida. Yeah. So they figured it out though. So Monday, my son will be able to go back to school, and it's back to the same thing. The mask mandate gets lifted on the 21st of next month, but the school board officials decided that they would just play loose with their own, power. Not only was the state going to withhold the funding for schools for the entire district, but they were also they canceled their insurance policy for the entire school district. So now the district has 3 days total from when they canceled it to find insurance for the school district. That means if a kid was to fall on the playground, get hurt or something, somebody was to get hurt, they wouldn't have any insurance that would cover them because the insurance company said, nope, sorry, we're not having anything with do with this. You can't break the law and expect us to be here to cover you. Well, I love the prison store item video. That's kind of useful info in my wee brain absorbs. Well, thank you. Inner peas. Hi, Sam. I am. Sis Boomba, Gala, Ruth Baker, Carol John. Well, hello, Inner peas. I hope you are having a better week. And just to let you know, Inner peas, my wife told me your joke about Laurie and Chad, and it's on tonight's trivia questions. So, with that in mind, let's just get the trivia questions going. You will, in case you're new here, you will see the question and four possible answers to each and every question, unless it's true or false. And there's only I think 2 true or false questions. There's a total of 20 questions total, and we're only just playing just for fun. You don't have to log in, you don't have to do anything. Just see how many you can actually answer. Do you know the answers to? Guess, use Google, phone a friend, whatever you want. But let's get going here. First question for tonight. What did 29.5% of Americans admit to doing in the past 2 weeks at least once? Hint, is up 5% over 2021. Is it A, murder someone, B, gamble, C, public nudity, or D, leave a negative review? Was it you? Who was it that asked that? I just briefly saw it, the KY Jelly comment before I logged on to this tonight. I haven't had a chance to answer it. I was going to answer it afterwards. But the answer is no, they do not sell it on the commissary for men, at least most of the commissary lists that I have. But they do sell it for women and the single use packages. Don't know why, but they do. I'm sure it has other benefits besides what we're thinking of. What did 29.5% of Americans admit to doing in the past 2 weeks at least once? E, watch reruns of the Brady Bunch. I watched earlier. I watched reruns of the children's show from the 70s, Banana Split. I don't know if anybody remembers Banana Split, but I watched reruns of that earlier. Oh, thank you, Dee Dee. Well, I really appreciate that. Rolling on the floor, laughing. Well, thank you, Dee Dee. I really do appreciate that, though. Thank you. Sam, I remember them. My late uncle, maternal grandmother, brother worked at a prison commissary. Wow. My late uncle's maternal grandmother, brother. If you hear screaming in the background, that's not really screaming. That's just kids playing in my backyard. It's 5:14 p.m. here, by the way. I was watching reruns of Dark Shadow. Wow. There's a show I haven't seen in a long time. Darn. This is a good show. Yeah, don't mind the screams, LOL. Now, my niece and nephew are over here right now, and they're playing in the backyard. I have like the big jungle gym thing. It's got 3 swings on it. It's got a rock wall. It's got like a clubhouse on the top, a slide, and it's got monkey bars. It's for my son, but we bought the house; it was already here. And it's not like I bought it and put it together. This thing's huge. It's probably from the clubhouse to the ground level is probably about 10 feet high. But he just convincing him to go up there and want to go down the slides is enough. But they love coming over here and run around and acting like monkeys on it. So those sets are expensive. Yeah, it's more of a pain in the butt kiss though to keep up with it, because where it sits underneath a tree. And it's concreted down, so I can't pick it up and move it to the other side of the yard. All right, what did 29.5% of Americans admit doing once in the past 2 weeks? The correct answer is B, as in boy, gamble. Admitted to gambling at least once in the past 2 weeks. Now, according to the new information, casinos made a huge profit this past year while everybody was on lockdown and we couldn't go anywhere. Apparently, we were spending our money at casinos and losing pretty good here in America. We lost a lot of money at casinos in 2021. So they had one of the best years that they've had since the 1980s. A lot of the other profits came from casinos in sports booking, placing bets on lines on sports games. So, Amy, not me. Didn't do me, not me. All right, question number 2. As a single mother of at least one child, you have a greater chance of, as a single mother of at least one child, you have a greater chance of going to jail in your lifetime. Add a second or third child as a single mother. What are your chances then? They could have games still. I know some people, sis Boomba, that are addicted to gambling, and it really, really, really scares the crap out of me. I've got a really good friend who, if he wasn't my friend, I'd call him a degenerate gambler. But I don't know how he does it, but he loses a lot of money. And I watch him every single time, and I'm just like, why? Then again, I'm kind of an old curmudgeon. $10 means a lot to me. Where it's nothing to him. He'll lose 3,000-4,000, and then hit the ATM for more and more and more. It's destructive. It's very destructive behavior. Okie dokie is going to guess A. My uncle, who worked at the commissary, was addicted to casinos and the horse races. Yeah. I have gambling addicts in your family. Yeah, we're not surprised by that at all. Not that you have gambling addicts in your family, per se, sis Boomba. I'm just talking about the area, Wisconsin and Minnesota. A lot of the retirees that I have in my family from both states, they actually have buses that pick them up and take them to the casinos. I'm sure that they're, if your family's anywhere, near those casinos there, it's terrible. It is absolutely terrible. And my heart goes out to you and your family. The lottery is like extra taxes for poor people. Brooks, that's true. We call the lottery the idiot tax or the poor tax. But I will admit that every time the Powerball or Mega Millions gets up there to 3 digits, like 180 million, I'll spend $10 on it. I do. I'm like, hey, I might as well, I can't win it if I don't try, right? But that's my limit, though. All right, question number 2. What is the percentage of likelihood of being incarcerated if you have 2 or more children? The correct answer is A, as in apple. 40%. As a single mother of 3 children, you have a 40% more likelihood of being incarcerated sometime in your lifetime. As a single mother. Obviously, that's not for everyone. And it may not be for, severe crimes. It could be for something petty. But, a 40% more likelihood of being incarcerated at some point in your life if you have more than a couple of children and a single mother. Feel sorry for a lot of single moms out there. When I rarely go to the casino, I have 2 pocket roll. My left pocket is what I came in with, and my right pocket is winnings. I guess rotary dial and welcome. That is I guess if it works for you. I go to the casino sometimes with my friend Tim when he's in town, but I don't gamble that much. I like to go and just talk to people. It's interesting to me. All right, question number 3. Do you want to die? If you're itching to speed up the date of your own death, get one of these as a pet. If you are an American living in the lower 48 states, if you're an American living in the lower 48 states and you want to speed up the date of your eventual death, get one of these. Which one is it? I read a statistic. There are enough children born in prison each year. Yeah. Ooh, we have an old prison in Belfast that has ghost tours on Halloween. That'd be cool as hell. I think I've seen like one of those ghost shows, that did a tour of one of them. Ghost Hunters or something like that. Or it could have been Ghost Hunters International. I can't remember, but I think I saw one episode. I used to watch that the DVDs of Ghost Hunters when it first came on for like the first 3 seasons with Jason Hawes, Hawes, whatever it is, how you pronounce it, the Roto-Rooter guys. But I kind of lost interest in enough of that. A mountain lion. A mountain lion would definitely speed up your eventual death, Interpeace. You're right. Look, the mother of missing Serenity and McKinney is 6 months pregnant and sitting in jail in Kansas. But I hadn't I didn't know that she was in jail. I caught over on Duty Ron channel. He covered Serenity. I've been terribly busy. I haven't been able to keep up with it. Very Morphew inspired answer. All right. Do you want to die? If you're itching to speed up the date of your own death, get one of these as your pet. If you live in America, living in the lower 48 states, the correct answer is C. C. A dog. More dog owners die sooner than cat owners. Now, frankly, somebody who has owned multiples, I would be, I'm really surprised by that because I'm pretty sure every cat I've ever had. I'm sure my cat, if he was in here right now, would be trying to kill me right now because I didn't feed him on some time schedule that he has in his little cat head. But dog owners die sooner than cat owners, or not too many people have alligators or and birds compared to dogs and cats. A fly. There was an old woman who swallowed a fly. I don't know what the actual number is, Gayla, on how much sooner they die. My kitty never came back. Oh, I'm sorry, Samantha. Next question. Question number 4. Who said this famous line? We would have more people alive today if we had the death penalty. Cats are your token animal. They're hilarious. I have one cat when we have another adopted cat that we think it was abandoned. So it might as well be our cat. My cat doesn't do a whole lot except for eat and sleep. That's all he ever does. I never see him do anything else. And then my wife has got an adoptive Siamese cat. They named Darla. But Darla she's a playful one, but she's more of a kitten. Research shows houses with dogs have the highest bacteria rates. Also, pit bulls cause plenty of deaths. That's probably why, higher bacteria rates. But who said this famous line? We would have more people alive today if we had the death penalty. I'm not allowed to have them, though. Very allergic to cats. Or are you on Facebook, Will? Yes, I am. Sis Boomba, there is a 411 Now Facebook page. I have a personal account. Yes, there was a kid we knew that named his pit bull Ted Bundy. Wow. I'm hoping to find another kitty from the sanctuary because her brother is so depressed. That's mainly why we kept the Siamese who showed up here, and she hasn't left. And we took her to the vet. She's fixed, but she hasn't left. So maybe wherever she lived before this, they weren't treating her right, and she just hasn't left here. And so she's kind of our adopted kitten. Wait, not Ted. He got executed. I guess Nixon. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I can't sing. All animals carry diseases in their own way. So do human beings. Pigtails scare me. I think they are banned here. I don't know what a pigtail is. Is that like a cat? A breed of cats? Who said this famous line? We would have more people alive today if we had the death penalty. The correct answer is D, as in dog. Nancy Reagan said that. Good old Nancy. Sis Boomba, correct. D, as in dog. Nancy Reagan. Question number 5. If I can get my cursor over to the right page. Number 5. Americans love to party. Every year when New Year's comes around, people make really bad decisions. After having too many adult beverages, what crime skyrockets the most? Is it A, murder, B, rape, C, vandalism, or D, public nudity? Your phone sucks. Dad said no. I've out of all the different breeds of dogs I've had over my lifetime, I've never had a pit bull. I've had a lot of German shepherds. The last four that we had were German shepherds. Well, two of them were mixed, but two of them were German shepherds. But I've had Rhodesian Ridgebacks, German shepherds, Great Dane. I've had a Pekingese, a Shih Tzu, and a Schnauzer. Wow, I've had a lot of dogs over my lifetime. A lot of cats too. Flights. Loitering. Told you I could see her saying that to Ronald. Well, you have to understand when Nancy said that, though, they had a moratorium on the death penalty in America. 8 pretty sure that are banned here. Oh. Starfire's my 30-pound husky natural affection antidepressant I've ever had. Oh, that's cool. Dogs can definitely, and just same thing with cats. I've had a lot of pets over my lifetime. I don't think any one has been better than the other, as an antidepressant. My dog, my German Shepherd, it was on the shelf behind me here. He went everywhere with me. I could take him to the golf course with me, and he'd just sit there and ride around in my golf cart. I could take him to the store. I could take him anywhere. He was just a great dog, and almost I never had to train him or anything. He just naturally was, very protective, and he listened. He was just a great dog. I rescue mastiffs. They've saved me when my husband died. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Tammy. My sister's had two mastiffs, and those are huge dogs. She had bull mastiffs, huge. But now she's got Saint Bernards and what the hell was the other one? I can't remember. It's some other giant breed of dog that's just as big as a mastiff, but long hair. All right, what crime skyrockets after people have had adult beverages on New Year's Eve? The correct answer is A, as in apple, murder. Murder skyrockets. The worst time to go anywhere in America is the day after New Year's. The highest percentage of people killed in one individual day in America is the day after New Year's. The highest homicide rate in America for one particular day. You would think it'd be like 4th of July or Independence Day, something like that, 4th of July. You would think it'd be something like that, or another holiday. Nope. People get drunk, they lose their freaking minds, they're hung over, and they have hair triggers apparently here in America. That explains that Wisconsin, the alcohol related everything. River Cross is your favorite. That's cool. Mel, good evening. I will. I'm going with C. It's likely the wrong answer. No, the correct answer, Mel, is A as in apple. A as in apple. But we're about to go on to the next question. I was thinking October burst. LOL. Stay in New Year's Day. Yeah. If you're going to stay in any day, I'd stay in that day. All right. Question number 6. As we all know, Ted Bundy was electrocuted for his crimes. The question should be asked, because we are playing a trivia game. What did Ted Bundy think should happen to him instead of the death penalty? What did Ted Bundy want them to do instead? Was it A, set him free, B, life in prison, C, give him a job with the FBI, or D, 30 years with 20 years suspended? What did Ted Bundy believe should happen to him instead of the death penalty? You have 100% chance of dying by getting licked to death in my household with my girls. Yeah, big dogs. And you got to admit, he was pretty smart. Bundy, he was. He thought he was smarter than everybody, though. That's what Ted's problem was. Well, besides that, he killed people. What did Ted Bundy think they should do to him instead of the death penalty? A lot of C's. What, B? B for Bundy. Rebecca's going A. Oh my God, it's seriously scary high winds here right now. I'm sorry. E, Chris Watts' cellmate. I put $50 on Ted. Ted Bundy could take that wimpy ass little man. And you all know that Christopher Watts has got to becoming one pudgy little sucker right now, because they at Dodge Correction Center, they have no free weights. They're, the only workout he's going to get is if he gets up off his ass to do something. We all know he was a fat man before Shannon helped him become healthy, and he killed the best thing that's ever going to happen to him. Well, thank you, Liz. Liza. Is it concerning? I love crime trivia. LOL, thank you, Will, and inner peace. Well, thank you, Liza. I appreciate the super chat. Chris is the mommy's boy. She was the evil one who shaped Chris. Look her up. Oh, Sis Boom Bop. Go to my channel and after this and type in Cindy Watts. I have an interview from with her that took place around the time that he killed the family, and just watch that and remember that is the fourth interview out of so she had 3 interviews. That's the fourth one, and then she released 3 videos of her own, which have been since deleted, but there are copies of it out there. But you have to watch that if you haven't seen it before. Cindy Watts. It's insane how she keeps on over and over again. She refers to, I never believed this could happen to him. Over and over again, she deflects that that bad things could ever happen, or Chris could ever do anything bad. E, Night Train. Oh, all right. For question 6, the correct answer is B as in boy, or B as in Bundy. Ted Bundy actually told the authorities and those who he interviewed with the FBI, he knew if he was ever to be released from prison, he would kill again. He knew it. He had that strong of an urge to continue what he was doing. He couldn't find a way to ever get away, and leave that part of his life behind. He's been doing it for so long. But he isn't the only one. There have been several inmates like that that have been interviewed over their lifetime. That when they came to it, they said, "Nope, if you let me out, I'd just do it again." All right, question 7. Ted Bundy. Where did Ted Bundy never approach a victim, even though he said it was a great place to do so? A, parking lots, B, playgrounds, C, sidewalks, or D, classrooms. I've seen that, Sis Boomba, the behavioral panel. I've seen that video. D, B, D, 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 B, E, Morks. Liza goes with E for Morgs. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, Liza, Ted Bundy was into necrophilia, and he often revisited his victims multiple times until their bodies became in such a state of decay that he didn't want to touch them anymore. That's how he helped the FBI catch the Green River Killer. Was he told them 3 simple things that they needed to watch out for the next time they found a victim. He told them straight up, next time you find a victim, do not touch her. Do not move her in any way at all. Just walk away once you find the next victim, and stay back at a far distance and watch the victim, because he's going to come back. He basically gave them his motive of operandus, and what he did, because he would go back to the victims over and over again, and reapply makeup, comb their hair, straighten their clothes, and have sex with their corpses. So, but in the morgue, yeah, ate them. Yeah, I heard he already. I heard he already them too, but I never read that in books about him. About Ted going back to the bodies. Oh yeah, he did. Seriously deep issues. I don't know. Being a serial killer, you kind of have to have some issues. But where is the one place that Ted Bundy never approached victims? Where is the one place? Parking lots, playgrounds, sidewalks, or school classrooms? Yeah, having a cold one. Sam I am MVVP is going with classrooms. The correct answer for question number 7 is, Linda, you chimed in just in time. D, as in dog, classrooms. He said later on that, when he was in college, that he could have gained the trust of several classmates, and he could have convinced them to go anywhere with him if he would approach them in the classroom. But he never did. And we all know that, almost every one of Ted Bundy's victims, like besides the ones he killed at the sorority house, but he approached in the parking lots. He used a ruse that he was injured to lure them to his car, with either he would drop things and they would help him pick them up and carry them to his car. Either a broken arm, a broken leg. He had some kind of ruse, a fake cast. But the fake arm cast was his most popular one. And once he got them into his Volkswagen, they couldn't get out. They were just as dead then. because the door handles, the window crank, and everything had been taken off the inside and made not functional, and then put back on. So if they could, if they tried to handle, it could never have opened the door. They could have never have rolled down the window to scream. And he had them as long as he could get him in the car. At what point exactly does a dead body cross the line between alluring to too gross to touch? Yeah, that's a really good question, and it's one I never really want to know the answer to. Um, because Gary Ridgway, Bundy, and quite a few others were into the same thing. Necrophilia after they, going back and having sex with their victims multiple times after they killed them. So, all right, going on to question 8. John Wayne Gacy required his home to be kept dust free and clutter free, yet he kept a cluttered garage and a dusty and dirty workshop. What item did Gacy use to dust his house with? Was it A, worn out clown's wig? B, a used shop rag? C, a t shirt from one of his victims? Or D, a piece of a winter coat he found? I don't know if you can see the last part of it, but it's there. For D, part D, it says it's a piece of winter coat he found. Mohammed Prince Faz. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mohammed. Allah Akbar. Mohammed. Purple, good evening. I hope you had a wonderful week, Purple. Anything clown related is disturbing. Yeah, it is. But Gacy was a clown. He dressed up as a clown in his spare time. Since we're dealing with Gacy, I'm going with C. Easily distracted. Good evening and welcome to True Crime Trivia. I hope you had a wonderful week. Welcome, Mark David, as well. Glad you both can be here for True Crime Trivia tonight. Sam, I have found the only one clown. I broke up with a guy because I found out his dad was a clown, a professional clown. No lie. Wow. I didn't. Well, there are so many cases of missing people now, it's hard to keep up with them all. Amy, that is true. And we have a question about that on trivia tonight. E. Bozo the Clown. I agree. Clowns are creepy. Liza says F and axe. I used to collect clown ornaments in the 80s. Ooh, no wonder a lot of people hate clowns. You guys are fun. Nancy Drew, good evening and welcome to True Crime Trivia. I hope you had a wonderful week. Thank you for joining us tonight. John Wayne Gacy, not as creepy as someone aspiring to be a clown. I actually knew a husband and wife that were both professional clowns. And they were really funny individuals, individually, but their relationship became extremely toxic. They ended up divorcing. I think they were married for 8 years, but the last like 4, maybe 5 years of it was just unbearable to be around them when they were together. But on a side note, though, they had won the America's Funniest Home Videos. They played "She'll Be Coming Around the Mountain" with a bicycle pumps underneath their arms. Like making like fart sounds, with your armpit. But they were one of the winners of that. But they were actual clowns, professional clowns. Do you take this clown to be your lawfully wedded clown? Did the husband clown open the wife's car and a bunch of other clowns paraded out? No, but they did juggling, and they dressed up as clowns for birthday parties and events and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know what really happened in the whole story of it all, but if you listen to her, it was all his fault. If you listen to him, it was all her fault. It's just so much better that the two of them are divorced and they're not anywhere near each other anymore. Are we clowning around tonight? They smacked each other with balloons. Does Ronald McDonald still do birthday parties? That's a good question, Mark. I don't know. I haven't been to a birthday party at McDonald's in a long time, but they used to have a Ronald McDonald that came to did birthday parties at McDonald's. So I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. It's a good question. There's her story, and then there's the truth. I'll be had one victim in his car when he approached her in a mall parking lot. He tried to break into it went by so fast. I'm trying to read it all. You had a Ronald McDonald party for your 11th birthday when you were 11 years old. I got completely smashed at a birthday party at McDonald's. It wasn't for children. It was for an adult. But we planned to go out, hit the bars, and we had a McDonald's birthday party planned for the individual. So most of us we would rotate. Half would go into the birthday party, and then they'd come out, and then half would go back in. And so we kept on rotating. But in the parking lot next door to McDonald's, we were all just pounding beer. We were in our 20s. It sounded like a fun thing to do. All right. John Wayne Gacy required his home to be kept dust-free and clutter-free. Yet he kept a cluttered garage and dusty and dirty workshop. What item did Gacy use to dust his house? The correct answer is C as in cat, a t-shirt from one of his victims. A t-shirt from one of his victims is what he used to actually dust his home. And it was found underneath the sink along with other cleaning supplies when they actually came in to do the investigation of his crawl space and basement area. You got smashed them down. Did they spike your sodas? No, Mel. We had this arranged so we had cars parked in the parking lot next to the McDonald's, and we would go out to the car, pound beers, and then we went into McDonald's, and then somebody go out and they'd go back to it, and they would go pound beers, and so all these 20-year-olds were going back and forth between the birthday party at McDonald's. But we had a Ronald McDonald dressed up. They supplied the person and a cake. So, all right, question 9.
I need you to send me $40.
Right now? I'm in the middle of a live stream right now.
Yes, well, I was exactly $1.30 under and I got charged $35 by Bank of America as an overdraft fee. This is literally all the money I have.
You're gonna give me $7 to send you $40?
I'm going to call them. I just
Okay,
want the
okay.
money in my account
Okay,
so I
okay.
don't get charged another overdraft
Okay.
fee.
All right. Let me read them their trivia question, and then I'll take care of that. Okay.
Thank you.
John Wayne Gacy had a well-known sweet tooth, as they say, loved candy. What was his favorite kind of sweet? Was it A, rocky candy, like rock candy, made from like sugar, crystallized candy? B, sugar daddy candy bars. C, lemon drops, or D, caramels. Oh, the things I do for my family. That was my daughter, by the way, everybody who came running in here and has asked me to transfer her money. Do 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 do. The murderous pocket sticky. She gives me $7 and says, "Transfer me $40, Dad." Oh, the part that sucks is she didn't tell me which one to send it to, so I'm just gonna have to guess. Yeah, thank you, Mel. Yeah, I love my family. Family is more important, but wish they would plan things a little bit better. But hey, look, I got $7 cash now to put in my wallet. There's that. John Wayne Gacy had a well-known sweet tooth, as they say, loved candy. What was his favorite kind of sweet? I just started automatically giving my kids a certain amount every month. Yes, the planning stuff does kick in at 18 for sure. Well, we do that now, but it's not like an allowance. I mean, we help her out with her bills. My daughter, that's my daughter. So me and my wife, we have two children. That's our daughter. She's 23, and we have a 5-year-old son. They're 18 years apart. So, and she had to move home when the economy tanked and everything else. So she's got a lot of debt. I don't know what she was a dollar short for. She didn't say. I didn't question it. Casey was really portly, so he probably ate everything in sight. He certainly loved KFC chicken. KFC chicken, strawberries, were part of his last meal before he was executed. But what was his favorite kind of candy from this list? Easily distracted is going with C. Lemon drops. He said he regrets throwing the business card away to this day. Oh, well, your oldest son will be 23 in May. It goes by really quick, Sam. I am really quick, as you know. One day you're bouncing them on your knee, and you're taking them to their first, recital or practice, or taking them to some kind of activity. You worry about them, and the next thing they're like, "Hey, can I have the keys to the car? Can I have your credit card?" At least that's the way it is in my house. I moved out at 29. I couldn't wait to get out of my house. I left at 17 and I said goodbye. It sure does. Your daughter is 37 and daughters are 35 and 37. They do. I mean, it just seems like just the other day my son was born. I mean, he's already 5, and he's in kindergarten now. And I'm like, what? What's going on here? Where'd all the time go? Blink of an eye, just like that, and it's gone. There's 18 years between my oldest and your youngest. Yep. Stayed married for 20 years. Hate to break the news, grandsons grow up and need money too. Oh yeah, they do. My kids are 12 years apart. My oldest son is 18 on the 25th of this month, and my youngest will be 6 on March 25th. Much too quickly, Will. Yep. All right, John Wayne Gacy. What was his favorite kind of candy? The correct answer is D, as in dog, caramels. Oldest is 37, youngest is 20. 17 years there. Liza, it is D as in dog. L. Anders. Good evening and welcome to True Crime Trivia. I'm sorry if I missed you earlier. I'm glad you could be here with us tonight. My 23-year-old is much more financially responsible than my 31-year-old. My daughter is very financially responsible for the most part. What's kicking her butt right now is student loans. The student loans that she has out, that they don't give a rat's ass about if what's going on in your life. They really don't. They're like, nope. If you don't send it to us, we're just going to take it from you. It's insane. Thanks. This is my first time in trivia. Well, good. I'm glad I hope you enjoy it. All right, we're going to move on to question number 10 now. Question number 10. If I can move my cursor over to the other screen so I can actually click on it. There we go. Question 10. In Tsarist Russia, it was illegal to do what? A, drink vodka. B, smoke opium. C, smoke pipe or tobacco, any kind of tobacco product. That would include cigarettes or any kind of tobacco. Or D, cheat on your wife or husband. Rents are too expensive. Let them stay at home and save money. That's basically why she's here with us now. You graduated in 94. Dude, I graduated in 94 and over 4 times what I borrowed. Sis Boomba, My wife is working on her doctorate in psychology. Um, if it wasn't for the fact that she's still a student, we would hate to see what the student loan debt really looks like. We have a pretty good idea of what it is, but with interest and everything else that's added to it, by the time she gets done with her doctorate, we figure we'll probably be close to 275,000, right in there. And, even though we've been paying on it all this time, it's insane. Feel your pain. My nursing degree was a GNA of a small third world country. Gross national product of a third world country. That, I know you're exaggerating, but that that is funny and yet sad at the same time. The debt? Oh, the student between 1970, I think it was 1970, 1975, tuition costs went up what 3,000% across the board for in-state tuitions, across the United States. In that 5-year period, 3,000%. My wife has textbooks that they're back on the shelf behind me here. She's used once for one semester, paid $200-300 for the textbook, and when you go to turn it back in at the school bookie, not bookie but the bookstore, turn it in, they offer you $50 for a book that you used once or twice the entire semester, and you'll never use again because the next semester they put on a new one and they require you have the new version of it. So I collect all of her psychology books. We don't we don't bankrupt on education. Oh, you do here. You can't file bankruptcy on it on student loans. It's all rigged. They've made damn sure you can't get away from your debt. It's expensive, but not 300K. Bookie was correct. Yeah, it's pretty close. In Tsarist Russia, what was illegal to do? Either the author or they get kickbacks. We know a couple of professors at a local community college, and they told us exactly what it is. They get the book publishers come to them, and they tell them, we have another version. It's basically the same book. We've changed the cover art. We've changed a couple of things here and there. We moved the chapters around because you said that you'd like to cover this before this chapter, so we did that for you. You require this new textbook and this online access code, and we'll make a contribution to you going on a sabbatical. That's a kickback, and it comes down that way all the time, and they do it. They know it. They know they're screwing the students, but what are you going to do? You taking off, Sis Ba? Gotta run, guys. Have a great weekend. You too. Stay safe out there. Go eat some cheese curds for me. I wish I had some cheese curds. All right, in Tsarist Russia, what was illegal to do? You would think that cheating on your husband or wife would be illegal, but it wasn't against the law. Smoking opium hadn't gotten to Tsarist Russia to the point where they actually made a law against smoking opium, but smoking tobacco, C as in cat, was illegal in Tsarist Russia. Any type of tobacco use, chewing it, smoking it, it didn't matter. Tobacco was outlawed in Tsarist Russia because people spent money on it. And it was destructive. You just tried cheese curds, nice. Eat, get drunk at McDonald's. All right, question number 11. In spite of counterfeiting laws, Walt Disney made his own money with different serial numbers and the same linen U.S. currency is made with, requiring people to use it in his theme parks. True or false? Yep, it is 420 somewhere. Samantha, smoke them if you got them, or smoke it if you got it. It better be B. Read the question. In spite of counterfeiting laws, Walt Disney made his own money with different serial numbers and the same linen U.S. currency is made with, requiring people to use it in his theme parks. He's another dodgy character. I live close to Canada, favorite cheese factory. Nothing beats fresh curds. We call squeakers. I can't find cheese curds where I live. And you would think that with all the people who live in this area, a lot of transplants from Ohio, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin are here. Where I live in Washington State, and they're all here for pretty much. They got here the same way that we did. But you would think that somebody locally would make fresh cheese curds. You can't get them nowhere, and there are a lot of people that just die for them. They actually travel about 200 miles to Tillamook, Oregon, to the Tillamook factory there, cheese factory, and they buy them in bulk and then bring them here and then sell them. Kind of like if you don't have a Krispy Kreme donut store anywhere near you, people will bring Krispy Kreme donuts for fundraisers and sell them. It's the same here, but with cheese curds. Betty Blue, good evening, Betty. No, Betty, it's a whole other thing. Buy them online from Wisconsin. Yeah, you could. You could buy them online. I'm sure somebody probably has found a connection that way. I just know when they do fundraisers for like the PTA and stuff like that, that's always on the list. Cheese curds are always one of the things that they sell. I'll guess B, but I'm thinking Hershey did that though. Hershey, he did it with coins that you had to redeem. He forced his employees to redeem at the company store. This we're trying to find out if Walt Disney made his own currency and required people to use it in his theme parks. Is it scum off the cheese? That would be whey, Betty. The whey is what, but curd it's basically one step before they process it into cheese. Like I mean, I'm not a cheese maker, but from my understanding is it's one step before they press it in, and then drain the juice and everything from it. So it's like little clumps of cheese. Cottage cheese is small. Well, we're practically neighbors. You live in British Columbia. Walt had an Indian gambling casino. Did he? I wasn't aware of that. Or maybe Kodiak, um, company store. Usually pre mature cheddar. cheese that isn't cured. Yep. All right. The correct answer to question 11 is B, as in false. Now, if the question would have said required people to use it in his theme park, it would have been true, but it says parks, plural. He did print his own money. You can go on to eBay right now and you can find Mickey Mouse dollars. He printed the currency in the same denominations as the US currency: ones, fives, tens, 20s, 50s, hundreds. He printed it in the same currency and he actually shopped around until he could find a company that could make a linen paper that was close to the US currency that would last and would not fall apart. And he forced people, if you're in the Disney theme park, to have to exchange your US dollars for actual currency, Mickey Mouse dollars. But if the question would have just said theme park, it would have been true. But since it says parks, the answer is false. It started in Disneyland and then worked its way through each and every one of the different ones, but they stopped, I think, in 1981 or 80 something is when they stopped. But you can go onto eBay and pristine, Mickey Mouse dollar, they're worth a couple $100 now. If you can find one in a graded, like a PSA graded. But he definitely printed his own money. He skirted the U.S. counterfeiting laws right up to the edge. But question number 12. Escaping convicts used to do what? To throw off the scent of hounds tracking them. Was it A, light fires, B, rub oranges on the ground, C, rub mud on their bodies, or D, throw dead red herrings around? Mortimer Mouse back in the day. Star Master 191, welcome to True Crime Trivia. I just saw your name. I'm sorry if I missed you earlier. I'm glad you could be here with us. I hope you had a wonderful week. Thank you again for joining us. B is silly, but I guess B or C. E, rub steaks on their bodies. Rub steaks on their body. Yeah, that'll throw off a hound. Escaping convicts used to do what to throw off the scent of hounds tracking them? Changing to D, says okie dokie. I watched too many prison movies as a kid. You have 3 Trump coins? They're like challenge coins? Not likely they would be able to procure oranges. Same with fire. How are they going to light matches or lighters? That's probably contraband. Or is it another trick question? Did the herrings have to be red? LOL. Same with herrings. So is MUF. Mud. Question: is red herring the same as dead red herrings? Is red herrings the same as dead red herrings? Throw dead red herrings. Well, they would be dead. And if you're not familiar with, a herring is a fish. Does it have to be red herrings or do they have to be dead? Well, they're not in water, so I'm guessing they're probably dead. It's a trick question. What if it's the winter in Siberia, then they'd be dead frozen fish. They'd be like logs. One's alive, one's dead. LOL. Do you write these yourself, Mr. Follin? Rebecca, my name is Will Finley. And it's nice to meet you. Do I write these myself? Some of them I do. I find the questions online on different trivia sites, or they come to me. Maybe I'll be reading something, and there's something in a paragraph or the story that strikes me as like, hey, I bet you people that would love that question, and so I save them to the cloud in a file, and I've got hundreds of these things, and then each week what I do is I just pull 20 of them for trivia, 20 of them that are music related for the music trivia that we do on Sundays. In mysteries, a red herring is a misleading clue. Escaping convicts used to do what? To throw off the scent of hounds tracking them. Brooks is going with D. What can it be? Liza is going with C. Okie dokie is sticking with D. All right, question number 12. Escaping convicts used to do what to throw off the scent of hounds tracking them? The correct answer is D, as in dog. Throw dead red herrings around. The dogs would smell the dead fish, and they believed that it would confuse the dogs that were tracking them. E, eat a Big Mac. I studied MCAT questions by tonight's score. I need to read up on true crime. You're taking your MCAT? I've got all those books. Those are hella expensive, by the way. The MCAT. I've got all of those in the house on my wife. Well, they're not mine; they're my wife's. Or her MCAT books. I think there's 8 of them or 6 of them. Yeah, I can't remember. But that green and white cover, I can picture them in my mind. Those are hella expensive. That's not fair that those books are so damn expensive. My dog stashed part of her raw liver in my pillowcase. Ew. All right, question number 13. You know your criminals. Who were Parker and Burroughs, better known as A, Sweetie and Sugar Plum, B, Bonnie and Clyde, C, Ma and Pa Kenner. I think it's supposed to be Kenner. Is that how you pronounce it? Well, D, Ed Ginn and Sam White. Know your criminals. Who were Parker and Burroughs, better known as B. Mel Stiller says thanks for being here. Oh, Inner P says Mel Stiller, thanks for being here. Betty is going with A. Liza's going with C. I don't even know who they are. I'm going to look them up. I've never heard that name before. Well, that doesn't help at all. Putting Ma and Pa Kenner into Google, that doesn't help me. I don't know if anybody else is using Google, but that didn't bring much of results. A bunch of nurse practitioners and a DMD, a dentist's office, LinkedIn profiles. Got 4 LinkedIn profiles. Yeah, that didn't help at all. Ma and Pa Kettle, isn't it? That's, I don't know. I'll try Ma and Pa Kettle. You never know. Some of these might be wrong, but Ma and Pa Kettle, that brings up cases in a Wikipedia. Characters of successful film series in the same name, producer Universal Studios. Movie. It's a movie, Ma and Pa Kettle. But I think it's supposed to be real people because all the rest of them are real people. C is the only one I don't recognize the name. But obviously, we all know who Ed Ginn is and Sam White. Sweetie and Sugar Plum is 2 different people. I know, and we all know who Bonnie and Clyde are. I just don't recognize C. But that's just me. I can't know them all. Oops, I met morphine. Isn't it cheating if you have to use a search engine? No, Star Master. Use a search engine. Phone a friend. Grab your significant other, whoever. There's no cheating. We're only doing this for fun, anyways. And I actually encourage it. On Sunday nights, we play music trivia, and I tell everybody, even for the trivia prize, for that, which is an Amazon gift card, or you get the cash equivalent of it. I give you 5 minutes to come up with the answer to the one trivia question on that. And I tell everybody, use Google, use whatever you need to come up with the answer. Whoever answers it first wins. So it's not cheating. I don't care if you guys use Google or a search engine. Ask your husband, your wife, or ask your dog, ask your cat. They may know. Weren't they a couple who the husband murdered her husband and she smothered his wife? I don't know, Tammy. I put it into the search engine, but briefly, and ask Siri if you want, Betty Blue. But the only thing that came up immediately in my brief search engine was dentist office and different people who go by the name Ma and Pa, and then the last name was a lot. Type Burroughs, Ma and Pa Burroughs. It's not cheating; it's growing our brains. It is. We're just challenging ourselves. Know your criminals. Who were Parker and Burroughs better known as? The correct answer for question 13 is B as in boy, Bonnie and Clyde. Linda knows. I'm the oldest one here for sure. Hallelujah. Are you the oldest? Question number 14. Know your criminals. How many U.S. senators have been indicted and arrested while still in office, charged with everything from fraud to treason? How many U.S. senators have been indicted and arrested while still in office? Is it the answer 2, B, 10, C, 20, or D, 12? Haley, I'm 65. 65 years young. As long as you keep the brain, active, that's the best thing you can ask for. Hallelujah. 67. Do we have anybody older than 67? Here, 67, 67, 67. Ed, do I hear 68, 68, 68, 68? Do I have it here? Do I have a 68, 68, 68? Was a comedy about hillbillies before the Beverly Hillbillies. It was in black and white. But I'm trying so hard to stay awake. Oh, if you need to go, Samantha, that's all right. They seem to never face justice. Betty Blue is 64. D. But I'm cute. Hey, that's all that matters. 60 in your 60s and still cute. I'll agree to that. Tina Reddington is 70, and welcome, Tina. I'm sorry if I missed you earlier. Welcome. I'm glad you could be here tonight for True Crime Trivia. We're on question number 14 right now. We're trying to figure out how many U.S. senators have been indicted and arrested while still in office. Pushing 52 with my one arm left, LOL. Okie dokie, that's so wonderful. It's great to have buds here in our grand age group. L. Anders says 12 question mark. Tina is lurking. It's okay. And to get a lot of people who lurk, and who watch and follow along, and a lot more watch the trivia and all the live streams I do afterwards. It's amazing. It really is to me. I look at it, it's like, oh, I had 20, 30 people in the stream, and within a couple hours, I'll have 300, 400 within a couple hours. It's like, really? But I can never figure out a time when it's best. So I put it up for vote on what time to do the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and these are the times that that most people said worked for them, or more people said it worked for them. Not everyone. I love this little group. Well, thank you, Samantha. We're decent people. Interpees, our friend Will. Oh. All right, know your criminals. How many U.S. senators have been indicted and arrested while still in office? Linda chimed in there with C, going with 20. The correct answer for question 14 is D as in dog. 12 sitting U.S. senators have been indicted and arrested while still in office. 12. That is 12 too many. And disgusting, yes. All right, question number 15. So the last time we covered, if you want to be murdered, you have better odds of being murdered if you have brown hair, straight past your shoulder length hair, or a white female. What's the next thing you can do to improve your odds of being murdered? Is it A, be sleepless in Seattle, B, be a single female in a bar, C, walk alone in the afternoon, Or D, wear a blouse with flower print. What could you do to improve your odds of being murdered? Sam's going with B, be single in a bar. Hallelujah. A, be sleepless in Seattle. Liza's going with D. Starfire. C, walk alone in the afternoon. Be a lightweight. Be a lightweight in a bar. Rotary's going with A, be sleepless in Seattle. Be a Karen. Some of them Karens, though. I'm not saying that anybody deserves to be murdered, but some of those Karens, I'm telling you. Rebecca's going with B, be a single female in a bar. F, work in a morgue. E, be married. That's true. You definitely have an increased odds of being murdered if you're married. Surprised? Not more. Weight wise, oh, skinny. Oh, yeah. Who is it that used to say, be fat and don't get murdered? Somebody used to say that. Like a YouTuber. Somebody like on YouTube used to say, you know, be fat and don't get murdered. It was like one of the things they used to say. I'm drawing a blank on it right now. Decrease your home being robbed by having a basketball hoop in your yard. Really? I didn't know that. I got one in my backyard. We live in an HOA, so we can. My son's not allowed to have the basketball hoop in the front yard or in the street. Not that I want him playing out in the street, anyways, but we're not allowed to put it anywhere in the front so it can be seen by anybody driving by. They like little lightweight girls with long hair. You want to be murdered? B? They think athletic people live there. But only because that's what a spouse who murdered them said they were doing when they disappeared. Must work. I have a basketball hoop in the front and still alive. I'm not laughing at that, am I? I am. I have one and a trampoline for good measure. Oh, never go out. That's true. But unless you're married, and then if you're at home, you could get murdered by your spouse. So, but not going out would probably, increase your odds of not getting murdered. And for this question, we're trying to figure out how to get murdered. Which one would you need to do to increase your odds of being murdered? Smash that like button. Appreciate it. Single, yeah. Single would, being single does definitely, get murdered. It will do. All right, question number 15. How do we increase our odds of being murdered? So the last time we covered, if you wanted to be murdered, you have better odds of being murdered if you have brown hair, straight past your shoulder length hair, or white or a white female. So what can you do to improve your odds of being murdered? The correct answer is D, as in dog. Wear a blouse with flower prints. Ladies and gentlemen, 31 of the last 55 victims of serial killers have all been killed when they were wearing a blouse or shirt with flower print. 31 of 55. Meet the Clintons. Oh, that's a good way to get yourself murdered. Meet the Clintons. You attract butterflies too. Guess they think they're more innocent wearing flowers. Now you got to think of the time when serial killers were more active in America. Not that they're not active right now, but there are. You'll be jiggered. Oh no, flower prints just came into style. Uh-oh, that's not good. The flower print just came into style. All right, question number 16. True or false? Lizzie Borden was an only child. True or false? Lizzie Borden was an only child. Note to self, destroy flower print shirts. L. Enders guesses B. Liza A. Hallelujah B. Sam B. Betty B. Rotary Dial A. Fashion to die for. Dang it. That was my first guess. A lot of women are drugged and picked up. Ooh. I wishing it was punk rocker with flowers in the hair. B, okie dokie. Now that's crazy. B. Lizzie Borden, was she an only child? Lizzie Borden, were you an only child? Flower prints are usually on pajamas. Oh, God. I wouldn't want to go party with Prince Andrew if I was female. What did you just settle that one for? What, 12 million? The guy just looks like a creep. I got crazy curls, red hair. I frighten folks, so I'm safe. Well, you definitely don't fit into the demographic of what serial killers look for. She became an orphan. Shh, me too. Was it disclosed, the money? Yeah, 12 million. I think that's what I saw in the news, that the settlement was for 12 million. And bed sheets. Throw out flower. No problem throwing out flower in pajamas. True or false? Lizzie Borden was an only child. Love red hair. Out of my 21 grandson kids, only one has red hair. He's adorable though, and don't tell him. He's almost 13. 21 grandchildren. Okie dokie. Wow. Dang, that's a lot of grandkids, a lot of grandbabies. Was Lizzie Borden an only child? Congrats. Fun holidays. All right, question number 16. Was Lizzie Borden an only child? The correct answer is B, as in boy. It is false. She had a sister. Rebecca, like the Menendez brothers. God. Didn't she go on to have kids, etc.? Lizzie Borden? I don't think so. I don't think Lizzie Borden had any children. But after she was exonerated, she lived just down the street from her, from the home that her parents were chopped up in, and a half brother. My grandmothers were redheads. It skipped both of my parents, and I was the only redhead kid out of 34 cousins. Jeez. No idea who Lizzie Borden is. I'll go with A. All right, question number 17. According to serial killer Samuel Little, what is the number one thing you should always have in the trunk of your car besides rope? Is it a knife, B, a bag of lye, C, gloves, or D, plastic bags? Well, maybe she left her mansion and to her cats. She lived with her sister after her acquittal. Just down the road, I believe. I saw a documentary about the house, and they're talking about all the repairs that the place needed. It was up for sale like a couple years ago. The entire museum and everything, the house, move in ready. Twinkies. According to Samuel Little, what's the number one thing you should always have in the trunk of your car besides rope? Is it a knife, a bag of lye, gloves, or plastic bags? What should you have in the trunk of your car? I guess if you're going to be killing people, you probably need all of these. Hallelujah. B, WC, Rotary, A. Took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. When she saw her father, she gave her 40 more. C. Samantha's going with B, bag of lye. What should you have in the trunk of your car besides rope? I don't know if I'd be taking advice from a serial killer, though, but what he said, you should always have rope. You should always have this item in the trunk of your car. What should you have in the trunk of your car besides rope, according to Samuel Little? Gloves so you don't cut your own hands. Red hair will eventually become extinct. I heard something about that though, or something like that about red hair. I don't know anybody with red hair personally. I'm sure I have some family members, and who have red hair. But again, I haven't met all of my family that lives in Scotland and Ireland. I've met, you know, maybe about a dozen of them, but I haven't met them all. I know my uncle who lives in the UK. He's got brown hair. E.K. White Shelley. All right, according to serial killer Samuel Little, what is the number one thing you should always have in the trunk of your car besides rope? The correct answer is D as in dog, plastic bags. Always have plastic bags in your trunk of your car. All right, moving on to question 18. Feel like whatever you need bags for, it's the one thing you can't do without. I have bags in the trunk of my car. They do come in handy. Besides, putting bodies in, you can turn them into like a rain poncho. You can collect up the trash if you have children who are messy, like a 5-year-old, because I have like little trash can bags. Put them in the back of the car. They always come in handy. If they make a mess of their clothes, you can throw the clothes in them. And we always keep an extra set of clothes in the car, anyways. So never know when you're going to need them. You have them everywhere. I'm too stupid to be a serial killer. Well, I mean, not that that you're stupid. It's a good thing you're not a serial killer. But if you were, my email address is question 18. California has the most unsolved murders of any state. So don't get murdered there, please. They have 48,830 unsolved murders as of 2019. Which state has the fewest unsolved murders as of 2019? Is it A, North Dakota, B, South Dakota, C, Maine, or D, Vermont? Which state has the fewest unsolved murders as of 2019? There might be a statistical anomaly of how many redheads are here. That is yeah. Is that per capita? We're looking at the total number of unsolved murders in the state. We're looking for which state has the fewest unsolved murders. California, though, 48,830 unsolved murders as of 2019. Colorado. I don't know what's in the water in Colorado, but I'm not going there anytime soon. My sister lives there. I told her if she wants to visit me, she has to come here. I'm not going there. Question 18. You may need to refresh your YouTube connection, Linda. Colorado. Yeah, right, Sam? I don't know what's in the water there, but I ain't going there. I thought it was bad, around the time when Christopher Watts killed his entire family. And then Barry, Morphew. And I'm like, nope, that's enough right there. I'm done. I'm not going to Colorado anytime soon. Told my sister, you want to visit dear old brother, you got to come here. I'm not going there. No, Linda, we are on question 18. Think North Dakota because nobody actually lives there. Too damn cold to be out murdering people in North Dakota. Yeah. North Dakota. I mean, the coldest part of the continental United States is in Minnesota, International Falls, Minnesota. You drive into town, there's a giant thermometer as you pull into town. Coldest recorded temperature in the continental United States, International Falls, Minnesota. But North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, anywhere around there, you get that that lake effect. Weather, it gets pretty cold. It definitely does. Right back at John Benet Ramsey. Yeah. Jolt weather brings all the cockroaches out. Ugh. I'm an hour from North Dakota, rotary dial is. California has 48,830. I think that's more unsolved murders than the total population of North Dakota. I mean, I've got family that used to live in Fargo, but they moved to Dickinson. In North Dakota, it's so cold, even murderers are in a hurry to sit by the fire, so they leave lots of clues. Belfast is always Baltic Burr, but North Dakota in north of North Dakota in Canada. We are colder than Mars on a regular basis. California has 48,830 unsolved murders as of 2019. The reason why I didn't put any newer statistics in that, because they'd only do them every so many years, update the actual unsolved murder database. The last time they did it was in 2019. So that's why it says 2019 for those who are wondering. We Canadians in SK wear shorts in Minnesota. Saskatchewan, is that SK stands for Saskatchewan? Or is that, or I don't know what SK stands for. Please forgive my ignorance on that, Liza. Avoid California like the plague. Everybody I know, Samantha, who lived in California has now moved out. And it ain't because of the murders. It's the taxation and everything else that has been going on in the state of California. They're tired of it all and they've moved. Well, now I shouldn't say that. Gayla still lives in California. So that must be where the expression cold as balls comes from. Saskatchewan? I was just guessing it then. I guessed correctly. All right. So, question 18. California has the most unsolved murders of any state. So don't get murdered there, please. They have 48,830 unsolved murders as of 2019. Which state has the fewest unsolved murders as of 2019? The correct answer is A, as in apple, North Dakota. And it's not because of the lack of people who live there. They have one of the highest success rates for solving murders. They have a really good the police department and criminal justice system in the state of of North Dakota. When it comes to actually solving cold cases and closing murder cases, they have one of the highest success rates in all of the United States. In case you're wondering, how many cold cases do they have in the state of North Dakota? They have 88. 88 unsolved murders in the history of North Dakota. Slab City, Nevada. The border state, they better be. Hire North Dakota PD in California, please. Question number 19. The inner peas question. What game were Laurie, Valo, and Chad Davao most likely playing prior to them killing her children and his wife Tammy and Charles Valo and Joseph Ryan? What game were Laurie, Valo, and Chad Davao most likely playing prior to them killing her children and his wife Tammy, Charles Valo, and Joseph Ryan? Was it A, cribbage, B, spades, C, Minecraft, D, Minesweep, E, TikTok, or F, Fallout 4? Remember Marjorie, the pregnant police chief from the movie Fargo? Yeah, you betcha. Tammy, it's taken me, almost 2 years to stop saying "yeah, betcha" or "yeah, it's part of my life, and you don't even realize just how much you say it until you actually have to stop saying it. And I actually took speech therapy classes to try, to stop saying it. The other thing that we're working on now is stopping the most likely. The game Crystal was playing when I crashed her live. Yep. Gee. And Tammy, Hangman. Yeah, I saw that. But thanks, Liza. F Fallout 4 says Starfire. Hallelujah. It says Minecraft. Oh well, I'm from the south and saying fixing to do something. I know your pain. Maybe North Dakota serial killers are very pro. Might be. Alex loved baseball. LOL. Too soon. When the three guys who discovered Canada were trying out names, they placed letters in a hat and took turns drawing a letter. Eh? I got C. Eh? Oh, God. I walked right into that, too. I got to start remembering to read the questions, in the comments before I read them out loud. I'm singing Doris Day. Then I got an N, A. What game were Laurie, Valo, and Chad Davao most likely playing prior to them killing her children, his wife, Charles Valo, and Joseph Ryan? And Ryan is spelled wrong too. The Y should come before the A. I got D, A. The correct answer to question 19 is C as in cat, Minecraft. Why? Why were they most likely playing Minecraft before they killed the kids in the family? Inner peas. Cut P A. What the zombies? Because there are zombies in Minecraft. My wife told me about that inner peas, and I laughed hysterically when she told me that. I was like, "Oh my god!" I mean, I was laughing so hard I was crying. It hit me as extraordinarily funny at that time. I was like, "Oh," and it just happened to be you jumped into the stream the one day I wasn't there. All right, question 20, and the final question for tonight. What nickname did lead detective give to Ed Ginn that he was told to never refer to him as again, but he did to reporters once? Was it A, Farmer Ed, B, Rabbit Ed, C, Tiny Ed, or D, Hungry Ed? Someone played spades. Oh, that was Chad. That was definitely Chad. Because remember, he killed a raccoon, and that's why he was doing that. What nickname did lead detective give to Ed Ginn that he was told to never refer to him as again, but he did to reporters once? Mr. Ed. He peed a little. Linda, good night. Thank you for joining us, Linda. I hope you have a terrific weekend and stay safe out there. What nickname did lead detective give to Ed Ginn? Oh, wow. L. Anders is going with A. Farmer Ed. Samantha's going with D. Hungry Ed. Thank you for being here, Linda. Liza is going with C. Tiny Ed. What nickname did lead detective give to Ed Ginn that he was told to never refer to him as again, but he did to reporters once? Dead Ed. Right, Dead Ed. Okie dokie, talking horse, right? Mr. Ed was a talking horse. Yes, that was a television show. Mr. Ed. I think A, but I'm guessing C. I had friends that lived near him and said he was creepy. They pronounced his name Ginn. I think D too, but So your Sam and I am is going with C. Rebecca B, Tammy D, Okie dokie is going with C. Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer for question 20 is C, as in cat, Tiny Ed. He referred to him as Tiny Ed because he was a smaller man than most of the police officers who had arrested him and had to move him from the jail to the court and everywhere else. And he called him Tiny Ed, and he kept on referring to him as you need to go get Tiny Ed from his cell to bring him to court. And they told him to stop referring to him as Tiny Ed. But in one instance, he talked to reporters. He referred to him as Tiny Ed. Offends men a lot. It all depends on who you are, I guess. If you're not, secure in your manhood, I guess some people could probably take that as an offensive, like, oh, you're tiny, meaning the size of what's between his legs, calling him tiny. Now I must BBB Bed Bath and Beyond. Are you taking off, Liza? If you are, you have a great night, and thank you for joining us again. I hope you have a terrific weekend. Hello, Will. Welcome back. Yes, it's me. I'm still here. I have a terrible time, switching between again, moving me into that little tiny picture in the corner. I want to figure out how to move the trivia so it's centered, so the left side has the trivia questions, and then me on the other half of the screen. I got to get my daughter to come help me figure out how to format it, because the way that it's formatted now, the question takes up the whole top, and then the answers are smaller. I have to work. That's something I'm working on. Cold, Michigan. This was fun and educational. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Sam. Louise. Hello from Michigan. Cold, Michigan. How's your knee, Will? About the same. I mean, better than since I've had the surgery, but it's I still have some pain in it, but the doctors and my physical therapist told me that that's pretty common. Um, they said over the course of the next couple of months, the pain should start to reside, because when they replace the actual the tendons itself, what happens when they put them in, they're one size, and then they stretch out for the actual body itself as I move, and then they slowly contract back to not as far back as they were in the beginning, but in a place that's kind of like in between. And the pain that I'm having right now in the knee is caused from it constantly stretching and trying to find that medium spot in between. So for those who don't know, I had my ACL and PCL and MCL surgery. I had the replacement of my ACL and my PCL. I have cadaver ligaments in my right knee, and I got that done on the last time. I had it done once before, but then they had to go in because of, I had issues. I had an infection on top of it all. But the last time was the day before Thanksgiving. So, knock on wood, it's been going pretty good since then. I go to physical therapy twice a week to kind of keep the motion in there, and build up strength. Because all the time before the surgery, I had you don't really realize it, but when you have an injury on one leg over another, you'll start to favor one leg and balance your body the opposite direction. So your stronger leg, is doing the work for the weaker leg. And I guess I was doing that, and I'd never realized it. I mean, just how much muscle loss I had in my right leg versus my left leg. So that's one of the other things that I work on. I do that on Tuesdays, and then on Thursdays I go in for it's kind of like yoga. I really don't know but it's a resistant, like those band things. They I don't know what they call it. I'm not a physical therapist. So, do you need meds because of the cadaver ligaments? Like rejection drugs, anti-rejection drugs? No, no. There's no blood in ligaments. But I did have to have a whole series of different drugs after I first had it. I had to take one pill for basically it feels like your leg is on fire and your leg itches constantly, because your body is trying to, it's not rejecting it, it knows that there's something foreign there, and it'd be the best way to put it. So it felt like my leg on the inside, not the outside, was on fire. So but it makes you constantly want to itch. So I had to take medication for that, pain meds. Then I had to take anti steroid, steroidal, or something like, well, I can't remember, something like that. It's a steroid. I had to take that. But there was a total of 7 drugs that I had to take right after the surgery. But that was only for like the first month or so. And I didn't take the pain medication for maybe, I want to say maybe 2 weeks afterwards, and then I just stopped because my body doesn't deal well with narcotics. And they had given me it was basically like Tylenol 3, but they had also given me an antihistamine to go with it, but it's also kind of like a pain medication, but it's like an antihistamine on steroids. It's like supercharged antihistamine to take. Go through it all, it take forever to sit here and list out what each and every one of the stupid things, drugs did. But I'm able to walk without a cane now, so that's a good thing. Pain, this is the least amount of pain that I've been in probably 6 years. So, I mean, that's a plus. I mean, I knew I was going to have the surgery done. I mean, probably 8 years ago, I knew I was going to have the surgery done, or a complete knee replacement. Now I've already had a 3/4 knee replacement on my left leg. I have an artificial joint. There's no meniscus left in there, so I have an artificial meniscus, and I have it's called a cap that goes over the actual ball itself. So there's a cap over the top of it. And that's my left knee. And my right, I knew I was going to have replaced, or I was going to have something along these lines. But I had put it off for so long. I had done more and more and more and more damage to it all. And it's one of those things, I joke around with my friends that I tell them, well, I didn't want to miss golf season because I love to golf. It's the only time that I get away from all of this. It's my downtime, because when I'm out on the golf course, I don't think about any of this. I just let it go, and all I focus on and concentrate on is just that, and I get fresh air and exercise, and everybody's got to have some kind of escape, from the world around you that is, that holding you down. I find pleasure in in reading, and this is my record player and my hi-fi system. And these are all records over here. So I spend so much time in here. I moved all this stuff in here because, well, I'm like, I might as well listen to what I enjoy while I'm working. So this is not all of my records. There's two shelves of them here. This is only probably about 30% of what I have. I have a whole other collection in the house. Yeah, I'm old like that. Golf club. But that's my life. My only escape from everything. It helps me keep my sanity. Inner peace. Golf. Penny golf. I'd, I'd be dangerous with a golf club. You'd be surprised. I my wife doesn't play at all. She doesn't play golf, but my son loves it. Shopping. At least it's a good thing, Will. Yeah, six instead of four. It in the game of golf though, you're only really playing against yourself. And I play in a golf league where you're trying to um, you're playing against yourself only. So you try to play to your ability every single week. So that doesn't start for another 2 months golf league, but not too many one-armed golf players will. I know of one. I know one golfer who only has one arm. He lost his arm in a motorcycle accident, and he actually is pretty good. He does everything with just one arm. He lost his left arm. He only has right arm, but he golfs. How's the taco boy? Oh, growing like a weed. Oh boy, as all I'm sure a lot of you know, they get to this age, and it's like right now. I mean, the boy's going to eat me out of a house. He just eats and eats and eats and eats and eats, and he's just growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. Trying to keep up with him with clothes. It's like, really? I just bought those, and now they're 2 inches short. I'm like, oh my gosh. But he really is. He's a he's so much to me. He means so much to me, and me and my wife, after 17 years, 16 years, of not having any other children, and he came along. He's basically our miracle baby because my wife got pregnant right after she finished up chemotherapy and her radiation. Um, so and it basically it jump started her body. So I was just happy that she was alive. I didn't care, if we didn't have any more children. I just didn't want her to die. I didn't want to be a widow. Crazy about me, huh? Thinking about myself. But boys eat a lot. I think I was Tiger playing like Tabby. My house was that one house in the neighborhood that had all the kids. So I constantly feeding at least 5 kids at any given time. Oh, I do my best, Sam. But just like everybody else in this world, I'm flawed. I have my flaws, and I learn from my mistakes. It's all we can do in this world. It's all we can do. Oh, trust me, you don't want to see me type, Sam. If it wasn't for Google, predicting what I meant to type, and and spell checker, nobody want to read anything that I write. I mean, how many errors did we see tonight in these? And I had to transcribe these. I even made mistakes then. Well, I hope everybody had fun playing trivia tonight. Live stream tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. It's news and chat. The news part is updates on cases that I have been covering for the last 30 days, which pretty much narrows it down because I've spent a lot of time on doing Josh Duggar and the, Laurie, Davao, Valo, whatever, Ryan Cox, and in Chad, Mr. Turtle Boy. You said your wife calls you a stubborn jackass. Do you think that's harsh? Me? I'm not stubborn at all. I don't know if she said that. I don't know what she's talking about. We had this nosy old hateful lady that reported me as being a drug dealer to all the kids running in and out of my house. She was busted for lying to the police and filing a false police report. Well, anyways, though, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up there. I hope everyone had fun. And thank you again to everybody who was here tonight to enjoy the trivia. The next trivia night is not next Friday, but the following Friday. Every other weekend is Friday night true crime trivia. I can't do it every Friday. I wish I could, but I can't. Because on Friday nights, my wife takes my mom to play bingo. So they're out of bingo, and I have to pay for somebody to be here with my son right now. So I'm paying for a babysitter who has been in my house since 5 o'clock. So it cost me money to do this. Sorry, your wife had cancer. So happy she survived. Well, thank you, Rebecca. Such a blessing to your family. I wouldn't want to live life without her. She is my everything. And I mean that. I mean that, wholeheartedly. She is my everything. And to all those out there who have lost, a significant other, in their lives, my heart goes out to you. It's one of those things that I never want to ever go through again. I was there from the beginning, and I'll be there if it ever comes up again. But I don't ever want to do it again. And oddly, she doesn't want to do it either. Go figure. She is. But thank you again, everyone. You all have a great night and a great weekend if I don't see you before then. Stay safe, everyone.